Hey, it's Drybear. Another day, more Q&A, and some sneak peeks on the upcoming update for the First Descendant, so let's dive in. First thing to talk about is the skins that just went live early this morning, the Albion Academy Summer Uniform setup. Now, this comes with 4 different bundles that have a varying amount of skins. This is a schoolgirl set for all of the female characters in the game, so we have all of these. However, there are some emotes that are different in each one. So we have, you know, the Viesa, we have the bunny, we have the Freyna, we have the Glay, we have the Sharon. I don't even know this. I guess there's the Valby, the Luna, the Haley, the Inez, the Serena, and then this emote, which is pretty cool. So this one is like, it's like a little love letter you give to somebody. Super cool. And then they freak out and they're like, yeah. And they actually have unique animations based on whether it's a male or female character doing the emote. The next bundle, which is $27.20 instead of $54.90, comes with Bunny as well as Sharon, Luna, and Inez, but it also comes with this Spawn bundle, which is actually quite nice. I think it looks better probably with the female just because they have a different animation. You'll notice on a lot of these, so this is Ajax doing the Spawn animation, so he just kind of floats away and then like respawns back in. However, the females, instead, they like lean backwards and get taken away by it, and then they kind of like dazzle their way in, which is a different animation, obviously the one we just watched. Then there's a second bundle with, instead of Blooming Love bundle, there's another 4-set bundle here, the Sweet Memories. This one comes with Viesa, with the, I keep looking at the wrong spot. It has Viesa, it has Freyna on this side here, then it has Valby, and it has Haley on it, and then the last one is Making Memories, which is another Spawn animation as well. So they take a picture, they jump in, and they come in. And with the females, they'll lean forward, hand on hip, with like doing the peace sign forward as they come in. But actually, you get like a Ruski squat with the males, which looks like this. They still do the same animation, just no hand on hip. And then they come back in and they do the squat with the double peace sign. Then lastly, they have a Glay Serena skin set. It's almost like a, here are the 2 characters that everyone uses in Void Erosion Purge. Now you have a skin for both of them. So this is the Void Erosion Purge bundle at 1880 caliber. It comes with the Glay set as well as the Serena set. It comes with a Love Letter Eceive, which is this like heart with a little envelope coming off the top. You can actually get a UI set and a banner set up for your account, and the Enjoying School animation, which again is different by characters. So the male characters will do this like rock and roll spinning motion and then hit themselves in the eye. However, the females instead will catch it from the front and then do like a outfit of the day spin, and then they do a very poor job of like bone scaling out the back. It almost like gets Harry Pottered away off the screen, like gets vacuumed out of the corner, but it's a little bit more like schoolgirl kind of feel to it. So if you're looking for it, those are new and in the game now. Along with this, they did a small hotfix that has like 1 or 2 things in it you may want to know about. So for the next level recipe for Ultimate Blair, as well as Merciless Cuisine, there's now a max number of creations to the skill info window UI, so you know how many of those spawns you can have in there. They also did make some changes to 2 of the external component sets. Plague, the 4-set bonus, changed so that the effects are always given when acquiring custom resources, even if the player is at maximum custom resource. So pretty much just for Keelan in general. Then Enlightened Mage, the 4-set, has increased the duration of Truth Effect from 5 seconds to 15 seconds. And this is just mostly to make it more comfortable in general. Next, one of the devs posted an update to the dynamic motion system. Yes, the system that focuses on the gravitational forces of moving bodies of mass. This is an update here. So this has, they showed the dynamic motion system, but it was only the top half of the XX chromosome characters. But now this is like their updated version that has the top and bottom half. So people are super hyped about this one. A lot of comments on Reddit and Steam forums and things like that. But here is your gravitational interactions, top and bottom. So there you go. Next, there was a question of whether the PAX East attendees would get some special loot, and they responded with, yes, we're preparing in-game rewards for anyone who attends PAX East, as well as an online event that for those who cannot attend the event in person. So if you're looking for goodies, be on the lookout for PAX East goodies coming soon. Next in the Q&A, there was a question of, are you guys satisfied with the current state of the hardest Colossi getting killed in 1 second, the Void Abyss Colossi? And are there any plans to prevent that in the future? And the answer that the director gave was no, we are not satisfied. I also feel regretful seeing Abyss Colossi, which we put a lot of effort into, being cleared in just 1 second. To normalize this, we believe that balancing between Descendants and weapons must come first. Only after adjusting the balance to some extent can we properly design higher level content with appropriate difficulty. We're preparing gradual balance improvements with this in mind. More detailed information is provided in the message. Which is kind of wild to me. I mean, this is very true. When you're making games, a lot of times you won't really fully grasp what the 1% will do with it and the kind of builds that people can create. 1 second on the hardest boss is definitely something that is a little surprising for them, and it's something they want to fix, but it sounds like what they're looking at is they're concerned about the overall balance of the Descendants, not necessarily the design of the encounter itself. The next question is right after the previous one, which is, can we please have Colossus battles be longer and have like phases and stuff like that, like true raid battles or very intense boss battles that go along with that? And the response was, when dividing the HP bosses into multiple segments, which is, they're talking about like checkpoints that you hit when you're trying to clear the boss to get it done. Should we interpret it as a simple damage cut checkpoint, or are you envisioning a phase where players must dodge specific boss patterns to proceed to the next segment, similar to Dia, who appeared as an enemy in Sugma sector, or perhaps a phase like a regular infiltration operation boss where players must defeat minion monsters during an invincible period? They agree with the direction and concerns you raised, and they're asking for a follow-up because they want to understand exactly what's being asked for here. This is coming up quite a lot in the community. Some people want, you know, full Destiny style raids. Some people want more MMO style mechanics. Some people want less, and they want the they want more looter shooter style mechanics. And some people don't care. They just want things to jiggle. The next is another question about balance being directed at them, kind of talking about how the game ballooned and kind of spread to the wind like the Dragon Balls once we added the core system for weapons and things got kind of squirrely. So they're asking kind of like about the addition of the core system and what they're going to do going forward to keep the game steady. And the response is, we're fully aware of the performance inflation issue caused by the 10-core weapon system, and we agree that one of the main reasons was the stat design of the fire rate core and the calculation formula for fire rate. As a result, weapon balance inflated beyond our expectations, negatively impacting the balance of certain weapons and content. We recognize the need to adjust the balance of lower performing weapons and are currently preparing improvements to address this. While the ease of clearing existing content with inflated performance is something we consider irreversible, we plan to reduce the performance gap between weapons so that future higher level content can offer a normal and engaging combat experience. We will continue working to curb inflation and provide more challenging and satisfying combat experience. Now, yeah, this is like, it sounds like they're kind of on the right track, but every time this topic comes up, I am a little surprised when I keep hearing Pikachu face from them. They're like, what do you mean this weapon system that we added made all the weapons way too strong? Pikachu face, you know? I feel like a lot of this should have been kind of expected, at least in the process of developing these kinds of systems, designing these kinds of systems, but at the very least, it seems like they recognize one of the problems that's there. Next is a quick one. It was a question around being able to include fellows and emotes in photo mode and stuff like that. Since they're your best friend, you want to include them in there. And the response was, many players have requested adding fellow interactions and group emotes to photo mode. I will discuss with the team to understand why they were excluded. As for allowing 360-degree camera rotation while walking in Albion, it would be possible if we had an auto walk feature for that. I almost wish they just let you zoom in a little bit more with camera modes. You get, you know, like any angle or shot you wanted, but they, knowing the TFT audience, they probably didn't have that just because there were a lot of players that were using it for voyeurism. Next up is a great question, and one that doesn't come up, I think, as often as when do we get jiggling, and when are you going to balance all the characters forever? But this was a question of can we make multiplayer more rewarding? I think a lot of people are looking forward to more open world activities, like reasons to go into the open world and do those kinds of missions and things like that. They are already working on potentially having open world bosses in the open world as well, and the new Axiom field that they want things to kind of, you know, have that same vibe to it. So to respond to that question of can we make multiplayer more rewarding, Director Joom says, we fully agree that it is important to create a structure where players can gather and play together. To achieve this, we are working on improving the fragmented content and farming structure, and we also plan to address the issue where party play rewards were less efficient compared to solo play. For Season 3, we are preparing various improvements to allow more people to enjoy the game together. Now, I hate to say this, But I feel like they've already kind of been inspired by a lot from Warframe. I feel like they could just go a step further and get the Warframe system where if you are in a party and everyone opens an amorphous material, you could choose from the rewards from your party members' amorphous materials. And I think this would, without changing the amorphous drop rates or changing the deal, it would incentivize you to be in a group, right? Because it means that you get to it's like having a lucky roll in Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or something, right? Where you get to roll the amorphous 4 times in a full party, and then you get to choose from those 4 rolls which one you want the most. And I think that would greatly incentivize multiplayer because you want to, you know, pad the numbers and rig the house as much as possible in your favor. And I think that would be a very easy to implement system that hopefully would allow you to kind of play with that. And there's also safeguards in Warframe where like it defaults to your amorphous material or relic in this case. So even if you don't make any selection or you time out, it still will always choose yours, but you get the option to check the other people's results to look at that. Now, granted, they have all the relic opening in Warframe is wave based, and in this game, it's very fast, small. So like if people have already queued up for the next matchmaking and you're waiting on their loot, they'd have to do some kind of handshaking there to make it clean. But, you know, I feel like that would be a very easy thing that they could add and would go down towards the line of making solo play more rewarding. If you're trying to make the fragmented farming less fragmented, if you're trying to make the drops more meaningful and you're trying to let people target farm, you know, crucial materials like catalysts or energy activators, then adding like group benefits that go along those lines I think are very easy low-hanging fruit wins that they can add to the game. But let me know what you think. Next up, we had some like individual targeted questions. This one is about the underutilized augmentation cores for the weapon core mounting system, and they respond with, we recognize that the precision augmentation core and especially the special augmentation core currently have very low utility and need improvement. Since the effects provided by these cores are not attractive enough, we believe this issue cannot be resolved through simple numerical adjustments. It could be solved. It may not be the best solution, but it could. I mean, if you made the lowest cores have 10,000% scaling, people would run it, right? So, you know, there's always a number. Everyone has a number, but it depends on whether it's a good thing for the game or if there's a limitation there in general. At present, our priority is to rebalance the gap between weapons that greatly benefit from core slots and those that do not. So they're still focusing on Descendant style balance and things like that, but at least is on their radar to get the cores to be a little bit nicer and play nicer together. And I think the video is getting long enough as it is, so let's call it there for the day. Let me know what you think about today's Q&A from the devs and the responses and direction for the game. If you plan to pick up the Albion Academy skins or any of the new emotes or anything like that, and generally what your thoughts are currently for the First Descendant. If you found value in today's video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm to help this video get seen by more people, and don't forget to check out my other channels for other content and other stuff and other things.